On today's Har-Ber Wildcat News, we learn about the preparations being made for the junior literacy exam. We help you prepare for college by taking you to the financial aid night, and we celebrate Valentine's Day by taking a look at the history of the holiday and by featuring Valentine's Day shout-outs from some of our Wildcats.
I would like to give a Valentine shout-out to Josh Hoover and Zach Roller.
I want to give a Valentine shout-out to Zach.
Good morning, Wildcats. It's Valentine's Day and love is in the air here at HBWN.
You just saw a few of our Valentine's Day shout-outs, and there will be more to come throughout the show. There are now 311 days until the end of the world.
Again, with the end of the world stuff, you have to lighten up. It's Valentine's Day. I'm Lindsay Coulter.
And I'm Zoe Piazza. Today is February 14th, 2012, and your HBWN starts now.
In the spring semester each year, juniors begin preparations for the literacy exam. Alexis Arenas shares the different ways teachers are preparing their students.
Har-Ber High juniors are preparing for the lit exam this upcoming March. Some of them are preparing a little bit differently. Students are being taught various skills that will further their understanding of the lit exam.
Reading comprehension, vocabulary, reading fluency, understanding what the author's purpose is.
Students believe that lit prep will further their knowledge of the lit exam.
We go over exactly everything that's on the lit exam, and Miss Freeze is an awesome teacher. She helps us understand it when some teachers don't go as in depth as she does.
Juniors that are in lit prep can make a huge impact in various ways.
These students are what we call our Har-Ber difference makers. They are the students who, if they're given some tools and some extra practice, we think that they are going to do really well for themselves and also to improve the scores for Har-Ber High School.
So juniors, make sure to do your best to pass this test. For HBWN, I'm Alexis Arenas.
Thank you, Alexis. Juniors, there are 20 days to the lit exam, so make sure you are prepared.
Nowadays, post-secondary education is a must for students to be competitive in the real world, but it's expensive. Har-Ber hosted Financial Aid Night to help give students options when paying for college.
Thanks, guys. On Tuesday, February 7th, Har-Ber held both the College Financial Aid Night and the ESL College Night in the cafeteria and seminar room in hopes of making college a choice and an easier route for students. The Har-Ber counselors put together a night for students in grades 10 through 12 to learn about applying to colleges, paying for college, and how to receive certain scholarships. There were tons of magazines, pamphlets, and handouts available for students to read over and take home. Lead counselor Colleen Foster believes college night is beneficial to all.
The big concern for a lot of students is how to pay for college. And so through the college night, they can learn what their options are, how to help pay for college. Really, if somebody really truly wants to go to college, there's a way to help pay for it.
The guest speaker, Bonnie Hartz from SLGFA, is an expert when it comes to preparing for college. She answered questions on how to get financial aid, how much it costs to go to college, and what resources are available to students. Senior Samantha Teeter thought the night was helpful.
I learned about some different websites I didn't know about other than just the FAFSA one.
And feels that some of the weight has been lifted off her shoulders.
Yes and no. That workshop does help, but then again, it's still like a stressful thing, like just trying to get everything organized and get the money for college.
ESL parents and students also gathered into the cafeteria where there were snacks, drinks, and information about colleges. Representatives from the U of A, NWAC, and Crowder College were all there to answer questions and encourage students to come to their school. In case you missed this college night, there will be a College Goals Sunday on February the 19th where parents and students can go to the University of Arkansas to find additional help for applying for financial aid. For HBWN, I'm Abbey Peterson.
For more information on how to get financial help to go to college, go visit your counselor.
Now it's time for Cat Facts. Cassandra Jones joins us for timely information.
Happy Valentine's Day, Wildcats, and welcome to Cat Facts on Location. I'm Cassandra Jones. There's a mandatory parent meeting for any girls interested in trying out for the cheer or dance team next year. The meeting will be February 15th at 5:30 in the cafeteria. The annual Miss HBHS pageant is coming up on February 18th at 6:30 in the PAC, and all proceeds from ticket sales go to the Har-Ber High East program, so make sure you come out and watch your Wildcats. Applying for scholarships can be a complicated but necessary process, so today CatPax is going to bring you a few tips for when applying. Tip number 1, have your current GPA and ACT score ready. Most scholarships will require this. Tip number 2, apply early. The earlier they can look at your application, the earlier you can find out if you get that scholarship. And number 3, don't fall for scams. People trying to give you free money won't be asking for money. We leave you today with our weekly EOC and countdown to graduation. As you can see, there's 21 days till our first EOC and 96 days till graduation. Back to you girls at the desk.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Coming up after the break, we'll get more Valentine's Day shout-outs and look and see how this holiday began.
I want to make a shout out to Sarah Smith. She's my Valentine and she makes me so happy.
I'm going to make a shout out to Michaela Allen. She's the awesomest person ever. She's behind the camera and she's my best friend Valentine.
I just want to give a shout out to my amazing boyfriend. He's really great. He does this really cute thing where he never talks, ever. But I love you.
To the kid who.
To the kid who.
To the kid whose parents are divorced.
To the kid who gets bullied.
To the kid who pops pills.
To the kid who.
To the kid.
To the kid who is alone.
I want
you to know.
Suicide is the third leading cause of death for young people ages 15 to 24.
And I don't.
You don't.
We don't have to contribute to that.
You are not alone.
You're never alone.
Suicide takes the lives of
mothers,
sisters,
sons,
friends.
And they won't make it to
22,
17,
their wedding,
15.
To the kid who's watching this video.
I've been there.
I've been where you are.
And I promise.
I promise.
I swear to you, it gets better.
Suicide affects more than just the victim.
It affects your school.
His community.
Your family.
To the kid who's watching this video.
Don't lose hope.
If you or someone you know is contemplating suicide, remember.
It's okay to ask for help.
All right, in the moment we've been waiting for, here it is. Miss Har-Ber High School is...
Have you ever wondered how Valentine's Day first began? Drew Jenkins brings us the history of Valentine's Day.
Every year we look forward to Valentine's Day. It's a great time for me to spend money.
Every year on Valentine's Day, a lot of money is spent on cards, roses, candy, and a lot more. But some people don't necessarily have to spend any money to tell their Valentine, I love you.
I get a box of crayons out and a piece of paper and make her a Valentine, just like I used to do in elementary school. A sandwich and a good crayon-made card is
that's good.
Perfect.
Thoughtful.
It works.
Valentine's Day also has another meaning to it than just hearts, pink, and chocolate. It also has its history on how this whole holiday started.
One of those islands was shaped more like a long, stick with like an arrow, and the other island was shaped more like a heart. And on the one island that was shaped like an arrow, you had some sort of disease that had really ravaged the island, and it killed all the women in the island, so you had a bunch of men. On the other island, you had a bunch of women. Finally, one day, one guy, Valentine, makes it to the island.
There are a lot of stories on how Valentine's Day started, but the true story was about a Christian priest named Valentine who was beheaded on February 14th because he cured a jailer's daughter of blindness. But he wrote a farewell letter to her signing it, "From your Valentine," and since that day, people have celebrated with their loved ones.
Thank you, Drew. Valentine's Day isn't just for couples, but showing friends and family how much you appreciate them. So now let's take a look at these friends and family as they appreciate each other.
I just want to give a special shout out to my boyfriend, Channing Tatum. Love you.
No, he's mine.
He's so mine. Love you, babe.
want to give a Valentine's video shout out to my wife, Miss Pittman. For those of you that don't know, she's head of the science department, teaches AP Chem. Honey, you're amazing, you're beautiful, I love you, you're incredible, and I have no idea what I'd do without you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Give a shout out to Lorraine Gonzalez, my baby mama. I love her, she's my Valentine. And Sophia, my daughter.
All right, I want to give a shout out to all 5 of my baby mamas. I love you.
I'd like to give a Valentine's Day shout out to Alon Morales' girlfriend, Gabby.
I want to give a shout out to Kira Sirio because she's my Valentine and she makes me happy and I love you. Okay.
February is not only Valentine's Day, but it's also Black History Month. Summer Morgan brings us our Black History Fact of the Week.
Hi, I'm Summer Morgan, and your Black History Fact of the Week is: during the Reconstruction period, 21 African Americans, including 10 former slaves, were elected to the United States Congress. All right, that's your Black History Fact of the Week. Stay tuned for next week's fact. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Summer. Next week we'll bring you another Black History Fact.
Okay, that does it for us down here. Remember, you can watch this show or any of our other programs on our YouTube channel, Harberwildcattv, or you can follow us on Twitter at Harberwildcattv.
Happy Valentine's Day. Stay tuned. Wildcat Sports Network is next.
Good morning, Wildcats. Today we got you lots of exciting highlights from Wildcat Arena and Bulldog Arena. Your Lady Wildcats headed to Bulldog Arena to take on their crosstown rivals, the Springdale Lady Bulldogs. Sam Weber carried the team that night as the Wildcats tried to get another conference road victory. Matt Bowen brings you these highlights.
On February 3rd, the Lady Wildcats took on the Springdale Lady Bulldogs at Springdale High. Early on, this was the Sam Weber show. Here she is with the dish from Jessica Olsen for the deuce. Now the fast break starts with Summer Morgan's rebound, outlet to Sam Weber again, who dipsy-doos through the defense for the layup. You can't stop her. It wasn't just Weber scoring for the Wildcats though. After the missed shot, Caroline Eubanks gets the offensive rebound and puts it up for 2. What about Jessica Olsen? I'll just take this myself. Don't mind if I do. Lady Cats up big. Later, Olsen will miss the 3. It doesn't matter though because Summer Morgan is there for the bucket and 1. The route is on. Now after the ball movement, we're playing some horse. Kaylee Wright calls the 3 off the glass. The Sam Weber show starts again with the short jump shot. Later, Jessica Olsen will drive in and find the trailing Caroline Eubanks. Big show headband, girl. The Bulldogs couldn't stop the Wildcats as Kaylee Wright makes yet another long jump shot for 2. The Lady Cats continue their dominance in the second half as Cassandra Trexler hits Summer Morgan as she slices through the paint for 2. Finally, Caroline Eubanks takes the turnover coast to coast for 2 as the Lady Wildcats roll 55-36.
Your Lady Cats are still fighting for first place in Conference 7A. The guys also headed to Bulldog Arena. This game was exciting from the beginning all the way to the end, with our student section screaming their heads off with every Wildcat bucket. Haley Hendricks brings you these highlights.
On February 3rd, the Wildcats took on the Springdale Bulldogs on the road. Chad Ramey with the ball, driving into the paint, drawing a defender, and dishes it off to John Bond for 2. Once again, Chad Ramey with the ball, Driving, but the time pulls up, nothing but net. Evan Johnson gives the in-tray pass into John Vaughn, who hits the fadeaway. CJ Tyson gets a pass and somehow finds Evan Johnson, who hits a jumper. Jacob Berry is off with 3, but Jacob Bladdock is there for the putback and 1. Student section goes crazy. Chad Rainey drives into the paint and gives it to Alex Rice, who hits a layup. Off a missed shot, John Vaughn is there with an offensive rebound and puts it back. Great ball movement here by the Wildcat defensive and gives Chad Ramey a wide open 3. Hand down, man down. Braxton Jesser gives a pass to Brandon Bucharian, who hits Trey. CJ Tyson finds John Vaughn, who hits the finger roll. There is no stopping the big man. Now it's Jacob Berry's time, and who hits a long 3-pointer. The big fella backing down and banks it off the backboard. Look at the student section. Chad Ramey slices to the defensive for the layup. Jacob to Jacob here when Berry finds Bladdock for the mid-range jumper. Casey Williamson is out of control here and John Vaughn draws the charge. Finally, Jacob Berry brings the ball up the court and pulls up for a deuce. The boys stayed in the game the whole time, but the Springdale Bulldogs will win the game 73-69.
Nobody expected the Wildcats to give these Springdale such a tough battle, but just tells you how much these rivalry games just aren't like the rest of them. On another note, the Wildcats Lady Bowling team qualified for state, and individually Jordan Malone made state. That's it for us here in WCSN. We'll see you next week.